Good morning, everyone. How are you? Welcome to IVF in 45. My name is Free. So I just came up here to give you guys an update. Today is January 25th, 2024. And I just wanted to just go over what's happened lately since my last video. So on January 9th, of 2024, I went in for what was supposed to be my last baseline before my transfer at CNY Fertility in Sarasota. So I go in and it's me and my husband and everything's fine. And she does my baseline blood work. And then my favorite nurse comes in there, Nicole. And she does my ultrasound. And my ultrasound, my lining is great. Everything's looking good. And she's like, you're ready to go. I said, well, I went in a day early than I was supposed to because I was having pains on my side and it felt like I was ovulating. I had all the typical signs and I was hot and I was not with the best attitude and so on. So I went in a day early and she did my baseline and she was like, I see a big follicle. And she was like, so it's still hanging in there. She was like, so let's do the gonorrhea. So we did the gonorrhea, which is what I believe it's called, to stop me from ovulating since I'm doing a natural cycle. So I'm just on estrogen and an immune protocol. So I'll tell you about that in a little bit. So everything's fine. And I leave and I start heading home and I'm excited to come back on Friday and my husband to do his part and us fertilize our babies and get ready for transfer the following Monday. But of course I get a phone call on my way home about an hour and a half, 2 hours into me leaving the clinic. And she calls me and she says she has some bad news. They're going to have to cancel the transfer because my LH is really, really high. It was 100. So clearly I ovulated and my progesterone was already really high. So I didn't understand why we still couldn't do it. Of course, I was YouTube crazy and YouTube said I could still do it. But those are my doctors and I had to follow orders. So that cycle was canceled. So this would have been my 2-week wait, and I would have found out by now if I was pregnant, but it didn't happen that way. So we're sitting here and we're just going through life every day, waiting for my cycle to show up. And it's not, and it's late, and it's late, and it's late, and it's late. Clearly I took some home pregnancy tests, and that didn't happen. So those were stark white negative, okay? Not a glimpse of a faint line. So we did that and I called her and I called and I said, listen, my cycle hasn't started. The longer this goes on, the longer it's going to take for me to do my transfer and just move on. And the way, we got things planned financially and everything else, I just kind of wanted to stay on whatever schedule we have. Never mind that God's got his own schedule, right? So yesterday, the 24th, I wound up having an appointment. They fit me in because I called on the 23rd. So on the 24th, I went to Sarasota to do a baseline. They wanted to see what my blood work was at, where it was at, so that they could figure out what they was going to do about giving me the Provera, because it wasn't something that they can just send to the pharmacy and let me take. They don't trust home pregnancy tests. So I went yesterday and I seen my wonderful Nicole. I love seeing her. They're just so amazing there at CNY Sarasota. And yeah, so I left. Well, she did my ultrasound and my lining was still really thick. It was a 5. And she was like, girl, you need to bleed. I was like, I know, but no sign of a cycle. So I left and I came home, and about 2.5 hours after being home, so yesterday afternoon, I want to say like 3:30, she called and she told me and my husband that everything is really, really baseline. So my progesterone is 1, my estrogen is really low, my LH, everything is just like ready to go. So she was like, just go ahead and start medication. I said, without a cycle? She said, without a cycle. We're just going to skip this one. I was like, okay. So now the timeline we're looking at is going to be next Wednesday, which I believe is the, I don't know, 7 days from now, the 29th. We're going to go for another baseline and ultrasound. And hopefully my lining is on point, right? I'm hoping for an 8 or better. And then on Friday, which would be, I believe, the 1st of February, my husband is to go in to do his part to fertilize our babies. Excuse me. And then on Friday, I'm also going to do my HCG wash. I'm excited. And then I guess I schedule my acupuncture for either Monday or Wednesday. So depending on what happens on Wednesday, and on Friday for fertilization, my transfer should be either Monday or Wednesday of the following week. So I am super duper duper excited to finally get going on this road to my babies. And hopefully, fingers crossed, all prayers to the Almighty God, Jesus, everything's going to go fine and I'll have success on my first transfer. If not, I've conditioned my mind for the second transfer. But I'm speaking it into existence that I will stay pregnant after this first transfer. So I'm just really excited. I just wanted to come up here and tell you guys where we're at. I mean, so this morning as I was, getting myself ready for work, I seen some spotting. So, and Flo is trying to show a little ugly head. I mean, either way, it's okay. By then, I should be done. I'm not a long-time bleeder. I'm excited. I don't know, but does anybody else feel better on this estrogen and stuff? I'm starting to think that after these babies, I'm going to need HRT for going into this perimenopause and menopause situation. It's weird that I'm talking about it, but it is what it is. Let me tell you something. The itchy skin is no joke because I just literally feel like I have bed bugs crawling on me all the time. I'm trying to control myself for this video. The mood swings, which I've always suffered from mood swings, and I'm thinking there's been a hormonal imbalance for a very long time. Because this is crazy. My poor husband, I love him. He wears the brunt of everything. But ever since I started taking this estrogen, like I really, really feel more and more like myself. So I'm going to look into some supplements afterwards and everything else. But so I'm 45, perimenopause, and I'm going through IVF. Want to say cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but I'm excited. I need these babies. I'm excited for these babies. For those of you that don't know, I already have 4 babies. They're 28, 25, 21, and 13. And my 2 grandbabies, my Doo-Wops and my Lola. I call her Doo-Wops, but her nickname is Doots. So that's where we're at. I want you guys to please help this channel grow. Subscribe, hit the notification buttons. We actually need 50 subscription to start going live, and I want to do live because I want to get up here and chat. I want to bring women in from the chat groups, the Facebook groups that I'm in. I want us to be able to talk and go back and forth about our experiences and just create a safe space for women over 40 to just go through this, right? So again, thank you for coming to visit me at 45 and IVF. I'll be 46 when I have my baby. Well, yeah, because I turned 46 in April, and my babies will due in October. So I'm going to be 46 with babies, okay? We're doing 2 at one time. So hopefully those 2 work so that I don't have to go through this again. So if I get 2 So if I get twins, first shot, I'm done with IVF. If I don't, I'll be back next year. Yeah, so that's what it's looking like. We're just gonna do 2 and call it a wrap. All right, but right now I'm gonna call the video a wrap because I have to get inside to work. Thank you guys for joining. Don't forget to hit the like button. Bye. See you next time. Good morning. Here we are, January 24th at CNY in Sarasota. I love this office. It's great. It's so pretty. Let me see. I'm gonna remember to take a video when I go downstairs of the downstairs lobby. It's really, really nice. All right. I'll talk to y'all soon.